How did frontier families sleep through the coldest nights without freezing? Relaxing history. Hello guys, today we will know about the quiet lives of frontier families. About the small towns and homesteads. About the winter nights when the wind was sharp and cold. And about how ordinary people endured, slept, and rested. This narration is meant to help you relax, to slow your thoughts, to drift toward sleep. The frontier towns were small, often no more than a few streets. Narrow paths of cobblestone or packed earth. Fog drifting low in the early morning and late evening. Lanterns casting pale light over wooden sidewalks. Everything softened by winter's cold and quiet. Houses were small, cramped. Built of timber or logs, sometimes with rough stone foundations. Smoke rose from chimneys, curling into gray skies. Inside, coal fires or wood hearths burned steadily, filling the room with warmth, with a gentle, steady glow. Families lived closely together. Every room used carefully. Beds were simple, often wooden frames. Mattresses stuffed with straw or feathers. Blankets and quilts layered thickly against the cold. Meals were simple, sustaining. Bread baked the day before, porridge cooked slowly over the fire. Small portions of salted or smoked meat. Vegetables preserved from summer harvests. Every meal eaten slowly, quietly, a small comfort. Clothing was plain, worn, practical. Heavy woolen coats, coarse shirts, rough trousers. Furs or blankets sometimes wrapped around children. Shoes repaired repeatedly, patched, preserved. Every garment necessary to survive winter nights. Morning began softly. Children stirring under thick blankets. Parents stoking fires, preparing water for cooking. Breakfast simple and quick. Everyone moving carefully, conserving warmth, conserving energy. Outside, the streets remained quiet. Snow or frost covering uneven paths. Horses and small wagons used carefully for transport. Carts carrying firewood, flour, or small supplies. Everything slowed by the cold, measured, deliberate. Shops opened slowly, if they were open at all. Goods arranged on rough wooden shelves. Grains, dried beans, salted meat. Tools, clothing, small utensils. People moving quietly from shop to shop, exchanging necessities. Work occupied most of the day. Men tending animals, chopping wood, repairing fences. Women cooking, mending clothes, washing laundry. Children helping with small chores, feeding chickens, carrying wood. Every task slow, steady, necessary, measured against winter's harshness. Some children attended small schools, if weather permitted. One-room buildings, heated by a single stove. Books and slates their tools of learning. Quiet voices reciting lessons, slow and careful. Education gentle, steady, like the rhythm of the town. Farms outside the town were small, self-sufficient. Families grew winter vegetables. Stored preserves. Animals kept in pens close to barns. Fires in small kitchens burning steadily. Everything arranged to survive the long, cold nights. The streets outside town were often deserted. Only the occasional traveler, wrapped in thick coats. Footsteps muffled by snow. Lanterns flickering against wind and frost. The town a quiet island of warmth and human presence. Evening approached slowly. Lanterns lit in windows, casting gentle light. Fires stoked, smoke rising steadily. Families gathering close. Moving deliberately, conserving warmth, conserving energy. Meals were quiet, simple. Bread, porridge, small meat or vegetables. Eaten slowly, eaten mindfully. Conversations soft, practical, measured. The rhythm of life slow, deliberate, enduring. Children grew drowsy by the fire. Blankets drawn close, furs wrapped tightly. Some listened to stories, whispered by parents. Voices low and steady, soft as the falling snow. Eyes closing, bodies relaxing. Drifting toward sleep. Men finished evening chores. Feeding animals one final time. Bringing in firewood, shaking snow from boots. Checking the stove or hearth. Then retiring slowly to their beds. The cold pressed against walls and doors. Snow piling outside, wind moaning softly through cracks. Inside, blankets and quilts resisted the cold. Bodies pressed together for warmth. Every small action deliberate, every movement measured. Lanterns flickered gently in windows, casting long shadows across the wooden floors. Firelight danced softly across faces. Small motions reflected in the warmth. The town seemed to breathe slowly, evenly. Sleep came gradually. Fragmented perhaps, interrupted by the cold. By the occasional creak of timber. By the distant bark of a dog. Yet always returning, steady, calm, enduring. Night continued its long, quiet rhythm. Wind drifting over fences. Snow smoothing every path. Lanterns glowing faintly, fires burning low. The town resting under layers of blankets and quilted warmth. Morning would arrive slowly. Light spreading gently across snow-covered streets. Soft and diffused, almost gray. Footsteps muffled by fresh snowfall. Life beginning again, careful and deliberate. Families stirring gradually. Children yawning under thick covers. Parents stoking fires, tending animals. Breakfast prepared slowly, quietly. Bread and porridge, a bit of meat, sustenance for the day. Work resumed in small increments. Fires stoked throughout the day. Wood chopped and stacked. Laundry tended, clothes mended. Children assisting where possible, sweeping paths, caring for animals. The rhythm of the town continued. Measured by winter's harshness. By the snow, by the cold, by the slow passage of time. Every task deliberate, every sound softened by the surrounding frost. Evening fell once more. Lanterns lit softly, fires burning steadily. Families gathering together. Children listening quietly, voices low, eyes heavy. The town preparing for another long night. Sleep returned gradually. Bodies pressed together beneath layers of blankets and furs. Lanterns flickering faintly, shadows dancing across walls. The cold pressing just outside. Warmth and rest carefully maintained inside. Horses huddled in pens, animals breathing softly. Steam rising gently into the frigid night. The wind moaning around fences. Snow piling softly. The town enclosed in silence, patience, and calm. Night carried on. Measured by fires, meals, work, and rest. Every sound softened by snow. Every motion deliberate, slow, careful. The rhythm of life steady, enduring, quiet. Blankets weighed heavily, furs pressed close. Lanterns dim in corners. Shadows move slowly with the flickering firelight. Bodies relax, minds soften. The town drifts deeper into winter night. Sleep cycles through the night. Brief awakenings for chores, tending fires, checking animals. Then returning gently to rest. Steady, calm, enduring. Through long, harsh hours of winter. Hearths crackle quietly. Lanterns glow faintly through frosted windows. Shadows dance gently. The town drifts onward. Guided by the steady rhythm of frontier life. Outside, wind whispers, snow drifts silently. Footsteps fade almost immediately. Horses breathe softly in their pens. Animals huddle close, sharing warmth. The world beyond the town is harsh, unyielding. Inside, life persists, quietly, patiently. Measured by work, meals, and sleep. By endurance, calm, and deliberate motion. Through night and day, frost and snow. The town drifts gently onward. Morning light will spread again, slowly. Lanterns dim as fires burn brighter. Breakfast prepared carefully, children stir. Life resumes quietly, deliberately. A rhythm of survival, warmth, and gentle, steady endurance. The morning arrives softly over the frontier town. Light spreads slowly across the snow-covered streets. Lanterns glow faintly in windows, casting pale reflections on frost-covered wood. The air is crisp, cold, gentle in its quiet. Footsteps are muffled by drifting snow, almost silent. Families begin to stir. Children stretch beneath thick blankets, turning slowly. Parents stoke fires, embers glowing warmly. Water is drawn carefully from the well. The scent of wood smoke fills the rooms, calming, familiar, steady. Breakfast is prepared quietly. Porridge simmering slowly over the fire. Bread sliced carefully, small portions of meat or preserved vegetables. Every meal deliberate, nourishing, eaten without rush. Hands warm near the fire, bodies gradually waking. Clothing is layered, heavy and practical. Wool coats, patched trousers, thick socks. Furs wrapped tightly around children. Every piece necessary against the winter cold. Every movement slow, measured, deliberate. Outside, the streets are still quiet. Only the occasional horse-drawn cart moving slowly. Carts carrying firewood, flour, and other small necessities. Footsteps leave soft impressions in fresh snow. Everything slowed, measured by the cold, the drifting snow, the early morning light. Shops open gradually, if at all. Goods arranged on rough wooden shelves. Dried beans, grains, salted meat. Small tools and clothing, carefully preserved. People move quietly, exchanging necessities, softly, deliberately. Work begins slowly, patiently. Men tend animals, chop wood, repair fences. Women clean hearths, prepare meals, mend clothing. Children assist where they can, carrying small bundles of wood, sweeping paths, feeding chickens. Every task performed carefully, deliberately, with awareness of the cold, the snow, the frost. Some children attend small frontier schools, if weather allows. One-room buildings, heated by a single stove. Soft voices reciting lessons, slow, careful. Books and slates their tools. Learning quiet, gentle, patient, mirroring the rhythm of the town. Farms outside the town are small, self-sufficient. Winter vegetables stored carefully, preserves stacked. Animals kept close to barns, fires burning in small kitchens. Life arranged to endure the long, cold nights. Every motion purposeful, every task deliberate. Even as the day progresses, the streets remain hushed. Only distant carts, soft footsteps on snow, horses shifting in pens. The town moves slowly, deliberately. Measured against winter's rhythm, snow drifting, wind pressing softly. Everything softened, quieted, calm. By midday, the hearths burn steadily. Food prepared slowly, nourishing, simple. Bread, porridge, meat, vegetables. Everyone eating deliberately, quietly. Conserving energy, conserving warmth, conserving life. Children play briefly near the fire. Some carry small chores, some watch quietly. Their movements soft, careful, measured. Eyes bright but bodies heavy with warmth. Sleep never far, returning gently in cycles. Work continues, outside and inside. Men checking fences, chopping wood, tending animals. Women baking, cleaning, mending, arranging clothes. Children assisting, sweeping, fetching, caring for smaller animals. Every action slow, every movement deliberate. Echoing the rhythm of frontier life. Evening approaches quietly. Lanterns are lit inside and outside, casting gentle light. Fires stoked again, smoke curling through chimneys. Families gather close near the hearth. Moving deliberately, preserving warmth, resting from the day's labor. Meals are eaten slowly, quietly. Bread, porridge, small portions of meat or vegetables. Conversations soft, practical, low voices. The rhythm of the day slows, measured by the fire, by the cold. By the settling snow. Every action deliberate, careful, soothing. Children grow drowsy. Blankets and furs wrapped tightly. Some listening to whispered stories, voices low, calm, steady. Eyes closing, bodies relaxing, drifting slowly toward sleep. Dreams gentle, brief, warm, fleeting. Men and women complete their final chores. Feeding animals, bringing in wood, checking fires. Snow brushed gently from boots and coats. Then they, too, retire, quietly, carefully. Sleep returning, slow. Deliberate, steady. The cold presses against the walls, snow drifting higher, wind whistling softly through gaps. Inside, blankets and quilts resist the chill. Bodies pressed together for warmth. Every small action deliberate, every motion measured. The town drifts gently, quietly, into the winter night. Lanterns flicker softly, casting long, moving shadows. Fires burn low, embers glowing steadily. The rhythm of life continues, measured, calm, enduring. Outside, snow drifts silently. Wind murmurs softly. Inside, warmth, quiet, and rest are secured. Sleep cycles gently through the night. Brief awakenings for chores, fires, or animal care. Then returning to calm, slow, steady. The town rests, patient, enduring, against winter's cold. Evening arrives slowly over the frontier town. The sun dips low, barely reaching over the snow-covered rooftops. Shadows stretch long across wooden sidewalks. Lanterns are lit, glowing softly through frosted windows. Everything seems muted, softened, quiet. Families begin to gather indoors. Fires stoked once more, embers glowing warmly. Smoke curls gently from chimneys, drifting into the cold air. The hearth fills rooms with gentle warmth, comforting, steady. The town slows further, movement deliberate, calm, measured. Meals are prepared carefully, quietly. Bread sliced, porridge stirred, small portions of meat or preserved vegetables arranged. Children wait patiently. Bodies huddled near the warmth of the fire. Every bite eaten slowly, nourishing, deliberate. Hands warm near the flames, hearts calm, the rhythm of the day settling. Clothing is adjusted for the night. Blankets and furs layered thickly. Coats hung to dry from the day's snow. Socks and boots set near the hearth. Every piece of clothing chosen with care, for warmth, for comfort, for survival. Children grow drowsy. Eyes heavy, bodies pressed against blankets, furs wrapped around them. Some listen to quiet stories told by parents, voices low, measured, soft. The stories are gentle, familiar, repeating patterns of the day. Eyes close slowly, breathing softens, sleep begins to settle. Men and women finish the day's final tasks. Checking animals, bringing in firewood, adjusting fires. Every movement slow, careful, deliberate. The cold presses softly against the walls, snow drifting higher. Inside, warmth is preserved, bodies resting, minds relaxing. Outside, streets are deserted. Snow smooths over footsteps, drifts over fences. Horses huddle in pens, sharing warmth. The wind whispers through gaps in buildings, moans softly. Everything softened by the snow, the night, the silence. Inside, life slows even further. Lanterns flicker faintly, casting gentle shadows. The fire burns low but steady. Children sleep deeply beneath blankets and furs. Adults sit quietly, listening to the quiet rhythm of the hearth. Evening conversations are hushed, deliberate, practical. Soft voices blend with the crackling of the fire. Every sound gentle, measured, calm. Every motion slow, deliberate, comforting. The town drifts steadily toward night, deeper, slower. Some awaken briefly during the night. To check the fire, to adjust a blanket, to feed an animal. Each movement soft, careful, deliberate. Then they return to sleep. The rhythm of the frontier night steady, patient, enduring. The cold outside presses against doors and windows. Snow piles gently, muffling distant sounds. Wind moves over rooftops, through chimneys. Inside, blankets and quilts resist the chill. Warmth and rest secure, steady, unbroken. The night carries on. Measured by fires, meals, work, and rest. Every task deliberate, every motion slow. Sleep returns, brief interruptions fade. The town rests, calm, enduring, under winter's quiet night. Lanterns glow softly in corners. Shadows sway gently across walls. Fires burn low, embers glowing faintly. Children sleep peacefully, adults rest quietly. The rhythm of life continues, steady, calm, slow. Outside, animals breathe softly in pens. Steam rises into the frigid night air. Snow drifts over streets and fences. The wind whispers lightly, softly, quietly. The town remains a small, steady island of warmth, of life, of calm. Even the smallest noises fade. The distant bark of a dog, the creak of wood. The soft movement of snow. All softened, distant, almost imperceptible. Inside, warmth and safety endure, blankets pressed close. Bodies relax fully, minds soften, sleep deepens. The night deepens further. Measured by snow, cold, fire, and rest. Every sound softened, every motion deliberate. The rhythm of winter life continues, slow, steady, patient. Sleep flows gently, steadily, carrying the town through long hours of night. Hearths crackle softly. Lanterns dim slowly. Shadows move gently with the flickering firelight. Bodies are pressed close, warm beneath layers of blankets and furs. The town drifts deeper into the winter night, quiet, calm, enduring. The night grows deeper. Snow drifts silently over the streets, over fences, over rooftops. The wind whispers softly through gaps in buildings. Lanterns flicker faintly inside homes. Fires burn low, glowing steadily, gently. Families are wrapped tightly in blankets and furs. Children lie still, breathing soft and even. Parents rest nearby, listening quietly to the crackle of the fire. Every movement slow, deliberate, measured. The cold presses outside, but warmth endures within. Some awaken briefly in the middle of the night. To stoke a fire, to adjust a blanket, to check on animals. Each motion soft, careful, deliberate. Then they return to sleep. The rhythm of the frontier night remains steady, calm, enduring. Animals huddle in their pens. Steam rising gently into the frigid air. Horses shift softly, sharing warmth. Chickens and smaller animals nestled in straw. All moving quietly, slowly, in harmony with the night. Inside, lanterns cast gentle shadows across walls. Fires glow low, embers shimmering softly. The hush of night pervades everything. Footsteps are muffled, voices are absent. Every sound softened by snow, by distance, by quiet. Some children stir in their sleep. Turning slowly under blankets and furs. Small murmurs escape, soft, gentle, almost imperceptible. Parents remain close, still, attentive only enough to preserve calm. The rhythm of breathing steady, slow, soothing. Outside, the wind moans softly through trees and fences. Snow shifts over paths, smoothing impressions. The town is small, isolated. Yet within, warmth persists, steady, gentle, enduring. Every home a haven against the harshness of winter. Midnight stretches, long and patient. Fires burn low, but never vanish. Lanterns glow softly, shadows dance lightly. The town drifts on in quiet endurance. Every motion measured, slow, deliberate, soothing. Some awake briefly for small tasks. Tending animals, checking fires, adjusting blankets. Soft, careful motions, quiet as the falling snow. Then they return to rest. The town's rhythm slow, calm, uninterrupted. The night continues. Snow drifts softly, wind whispers lightly. Hearths crackle quietly. Lanterns glow faintly, casting gentle, moving shadows. Bodies relaxed beneath layers of warmth, blankets and furs pressed close. Sleep comes and goes in cycles. Brief awakenings fade quickly, returning to calm. The quiet rhythm of frontier life endures. Measured by cold, fire, work, and rest. Slow, steady, patient, gentle. Even the smallest sounds are softened. The creak of timber, the distant bark of a dog. The gentle movement of snow, drifting over streets and fences. All become part of the night's quiet rhythm. The town continues its patient, enduring sleep. Inside, fires burn low but steady. Lanterns dim gradually, shadows stretching long. Children sleep deeply, adults rest quietly. The night presses on, long, patient, calm. Every motion deliberate, every breath slow, steady, enduring. The cold outside is constant, relentless. Yet inside, warmth persists, life endures. Blankets pressed close, furs layered thick. Bodies relaxed, minds softening, sleep deepening. The frontier town drifts quietly through the long hours. Hearths glow faintly. Lanterns cast gentle light. Shadows dance slowly, moving softly. The night continues, steady, calm, slow. All is still, warm. Enduring, safe. The night lingers, still and patient. Snow drifts softly over rooftops, fences, and empty streets. Wind whispers lightly through the trees, moans softly through gaps in timber. Inside, lanterns glow faintly, fires burn low but steady. The town rests quietly, deeply, slowly. In the deepest hours, families remain wrapped in warmth. Blankets and furs pressed close, bodies relaxed. Children breathing softly, evenly, in dreams gentle and fleeting. Parents resting nearby, listening quietly to the faint crackle of embers. The rhythm of night slow, deliberate, enduring. Occasionally, someone awakens, softly, carefully. To tend the fire, to check on animals, to adjust a blanket. Every motion deliberate, slow, measured. Then returning to sleep, peaceful, patient. The cold pressing outside, warmth preserved inside, steady, comforting. Horses shift softly in pens, sharing warmth. Steam rising gently into the frigid night air. Chickens nestled in straw. Other animals resting quietly. All movements soft, deliberate, slow. The town is alive quietly, patiently, enduringly. Gradually, a pale light begins to appear in the eastern sky. Subtle, soft, almost imperceptible. Snow reflects it gently, lanterns still glowing inside windows. Shadows stretching long across rooftops, sidewalks, streets. The town shifts imperceptibly from night toward morning. Fires are stoked once more, slowly, gently. Breakfast prepared quietly, porridge simmering. Bread sliced. Small portions of preserved meat or vegetables arranged carefully. Children stir beneath blankets, yawning softly, stretching slowly. Warmth and movement blending gently with the soft morning light. Clothing is layered carefully, wool coats, patched trousers, thick socks. Furs wrapped around children, hands warming near fires. Every piece chosen deliberately, for warmth, for comfort, for endurance. Footsteps muffled by snow, careful, soft, deliberate. The town awakens slowly, measured by winter's rhythm. Chores begin gently, deliberate, careful. Men tending animals, checking fences, chopping wood. Women cleaning, cooking, mending clothing. Children assisting where possible, sweeping paths, carrying small bundles of wood. Every action slow, deliberate, echoing the rhythm of the town. The streets remain quiet, snow softening all sound. Horses and small wagons moving slowly, carrying firewood or supplies. Every step measured, deliberate. Careful. The town unfolds gradually, calmly, patiently. Every moment steeped in warmth, effort, and endurance. Lanterns glow softly inside and outside, fires burn steadily. Children eat breakfast slowly, quietly. Adults moving deliberately, tending animals, preparing for the day. The cold presses outside, but inside, warmth is preserved, steady, enduring. Every breath slow, deliberate, calm. The rhythm of frontier life continues. Work, meals, warmth, rest, repeating slowly, steadily. Patiently. Children playing softly near fires, helping with small chores. Adults performing tasks carefully, deliberately, measured. Every movement part of the steady, gentle flow of life. By mid-morning, the town is fully awake. Yet the pace remains slow, deliberate, careful. Snow still soft underfoot, wind still moaning softly through gaps. Fires burn steadily, lanterns glow, homes warm. Life continues quietly, patiently, enduringly. The horizon brightens slowly. Snow glinting faintly. The town bathed in pale, soft winter light. Lanterns still flickering, fires crackling softly. Children run brief errands, assisting with small chores. The rhythm of life gentle, measured, comforting, steady. Lunch approaches slowly, quietly. Simple meals, bread, porridge, preserved meat or vegetables. Eaten deliberately, quietly, with warmth from the fire. Hands and bodies warmed, energy restored. Every bite measured, slow, deliberate, calming. The day unfolds gradually, every task deliberate, every motion soft. Fires stoked slowly, laundry tended carefully, clothing mended patiently. Children assisting, sweeping, caring for animals. The town maintains its calm rhythm, slow, steady, deliberate. Each breath, each motion, part of the gentle, enduring flow. Even as the sun climbs higher, the cold remains, persistent, patient. The town continues, life measured against winter's rhythm. Fires, lanterns, blankets, chores. Work, meals, rest. Every task deliberate, every motion slow, careful, steady. The frontier endures, quietly, patiently, steadily.